my first time ever filming for YouTube in general, too. So we're just gonna have some makeup today. Do you want to tell them a little bit about how we know each other?
Oh gosh, so officially from study abroad. The first time we ever truly met was at like a restaurant to like get acquainted with the people. I just didn't know anyone. I had never done a thing like completely by myself. So I was like, I'm gonna do it and try to be nice to these people and just have someone to know while I go overseas. And then we sat next to each other. We talked about Bachelor a little bit. And then I think I saw in the group me that your picture was a cockroach.
Yes.
with jewels on it.
Which I can explain. I was a psych major in college, and it was like a research class that I was taking. We were just reading about one experiment where they used cockroaches as the test subjects. And they were just talking about how cockroaches are scared of light, and so they like retract into whatever the hole they came from whenever light is shining on them. I was like, oh wow, that's literally me. Like when I
and someone was like, Mandy, this is you.
Yes.
And like,
so I changed that to my group me picture.
And then I was like, oh my god, America's Next Top Model. Like when Jade kisses the roach.
Oh my gosh.
So it was just kind of like layers and stuff like that. I was like, do you want a room together? Because we like hit it off. And then you were like, oh, I already know someone. It was from someone, it was Erica from your biology class or something. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, okay. It turns out Rachel A. Mm-hmm. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Can't say full names. But she was in my French class like my first semester at UGA, and we sat next to each other. And then I was like, oh my god, I remember you from my French class.
That's so weird because that's how I know Erica is my first semester at UGA.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was a transfer and you were a transfer. I don't think either of those two girls were transfers. But yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, but then we went to Paris together for a study abroad. And we went on a couple weekend trips to other countries. We went to Spain together.
Yeah. We went to Nice first.
Oh my gosh. Which is why I always talk about going back to the south of France.
And it's we just like really clicked when we traveled together.
So, but we just finished watching a movie, Aquamarine.
Which I'm seeing like this beautiful aquamarine right
That's
here. That's how you brought it?
You gotta do the...
Oh, do I do that? Okay.
Yes.
How do I do it? Like this?
Yeah, you could even open the pan if you want.
Oh my word. The reflection.
Yes.
This one right here.
Yes. I think that's
Anastasia?
Yes. AVH. I don't remember the name of that shade. I'll put it in the comment box once I look it up.
So as you can see, my makeup compared to Mandy's makeup. That's not a shaming thing. Mandy gives me all her hand-me-down stuff. So like that's just like her thing, her knowledge, and I'm just here to help out. So
it's my hobby.
Yes.
To try new stuff. But we wanted to do an aquamarine
inspired
eye look. I was gonna do my base too on camera. And also we're sitting
Mandy.
Yes. So you want to show them that too? That's the new Jaclyn Hill Volume 2.
That was like a real-time reaction.
Yes.
Wow.
That's beautiful. I actually like this one better than her first one that she came out with before.
Okay.
That
you always give me little Jaclyn Hill ones, and I love them.
I know. I love her. She has put out some good makeup, even though she has some controversy out in the...
Oh, don't they all?
Yes. So. Tea. So I'm actually going to start with some product.
So I don't use primer. What is it, like lotion? Because sometimes I use lotion, or is it like a totally different thing?
A lot of people just use moisturizer too as their primer, but there are different types. Like this one's the Pores Be Gone matte primer. So by First Aid Beauty, but so this one's supposed to make your pores look smaller, and it's supposed to just give you like a clean canvas for your makeup on.
I'm doing lotion.
We steam them. I also brought my Beauty Bakery sponge. I wet it before starting. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, fire away.
Just so we can like look back on this time and be like, oh man, like,
oh god,
those are like
you were showing me those videos on Snapchat, which were very sweet.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I actually tried filming a couple years ago, and so I had like 7 random videos that just like were not even in chronological order. But that was from before I moved to Atlanta, so that's crazy. But
oh yeah, they were like Athens, but it was just kind of like a video diary kind of thing. It wasn't even like, well, what you were putting makeup on, but it was like you said,
I was mostly talking.
A good like marker of like what we're thinking at this time.
Yes. So we're actually, today is, what is today?
July 30th?
Yeah, the 30th, and I don't know what week number this is of quarantine, but
Dude, it's
COVID.
over 15.
Yeah.
Definitely over 15.
I know St. Patrick's Day is when my job closed down, so that was March. But oh my gosh, you're using the ColourPop blue eyeshadow.
So should I say this?
Yes.
Okay, so oh my god,
I think that's what
it's got
people
like crap on it because it's been in my dirty makeup bag. But this is ColourPop. Yeah, and it's a volumizing mascara.
I want to show them the one.
BFF. Yeah, like I'm not a YouTube person, so I don't. Look how bright that is. I'm really.
That's
My
so
thing that I really like to do is like crazy party costume makeup, so I haven't had anywhere to go. And I think you gave me some. The last time I saw you, you gave me some palette with like a really bright pink or something, and I just put it on like when I got to
Yes.
Blake's house because I was just like,
I do.
fuck it, and then we just like watched TV. So
I know, that's what I love about Chelsea's eye looks, is she plays with color and she's really good at it.
oh,
Bright
thank
color.
you.
And I usually just play with neutrals, so she gives me some inspo. So I'm curious how like everyone, I feel like everyone's been handling the quarantine differently. How are you feeling about quarantine now versus when it first started? Like your status?
So at the very beginning, I was like, so my dad is like a high risk person because he has diabetes. And the thing is, like, I think we all probably remember this weekend, it was like kind of around St. Patrick's Day. Well, Blake and I were like, I mean, coronavirus was in the news and stuff. And then that one weekend, everything just kind of like
shifted. Yeah.
so it was kind of before, like maybe a couple of days before everything started closing, like NBA, like all this. I was like, we're not filming, we're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. Well, Blake and I we saw some people at like a birthday party. So then the next day it kind of really set in and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go home and put my family at risk. And I was like having super anxiety, and testing was like not a thing. Like you had to have
authorization from
Yeah.
a doctor, or you just weren't.
literally. And this is before I think even any asymptomatic kind of things were even tossed around. So I was like, I was super high anxiety all the time, felt like super guilty and selfish for doing something. But now I mean, I wear my mask and I do my part, and like that's as much as I can control, you know. Like I've been on some vacations, but like camping and social distance, like at the beach, like cooking at home a ton and trying to learn about it and not get, some days I'll go, it'll be like at the beginning how it was, but for the most part I'm trying to be like, I'm doing my part.
Right.
I can't worry or control about what anyone else is doing, so.
Yeah.
And the fact that testing is so much more, well, who knows now, there's like, in Georgia at least, there's been, they're switching over. I have a friend who is doing testing, like giving tests, not performing them, but like handing them over and whatever.
Can you like send them in, or does
She works at like the people drive up and she
Oh,
hands them a
okay.
test and she takes it back and
Yeah,
sends the results and stuff like that. So she said they're going from like a digital system to a paper system or something, which is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That's nice, a little backwards.
Yeah,
but
like it's a disconnect with all the different testing sites. It's just a mess over here.
yeah,
But testing is a lot more readily available, so that makes me feel better. I feel like I'm able to communicate with people that I need to, and we're still in contact, and we can still do social distance things and not get, and as long as you're responsible, I mean, like,
right, as long as you and all your friends are doing
you
their
and all my
part.
friends are doing, yeah, so.
What is something positive that's come out of it, or like
Well,
a habit, or
a good part of quarantine is probably realizing that, and I've also tried to pick up like my exercise habit a lot more because that's good for my mental health. It doesn't help with the heat, so that's helpful. And I also like, I'm saving a lot of money because I'm not going out to eat, and it's just kind of fun to cook. When I say cook, I mean like zucchini in the oven.
I recently did carrots. I need to work on my chef skills a little bit,
My chef skills are olive oil, salt and pepper, garlic powder.
Yes, and store-bought ranch. But
Ooh.
yeah.
Homemade ranch is really easy.
I was about to say, because I actually don't enjoy grocery store ranch. I only have found that
It's not my favorite at all.
Yeah, so if you want to share a ranch recipe with me, if y'all out there want to share a
Of
ranch recipe
course.
with me, as a side note, I think I'm going to go in with, because I want it to be Aquamarine inspired, but I also wanted to play with some
It doesn't have to be like
pinks and purples. I do have a
pink.
green.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like, you could do like her tail, like.
Yeah, I have this shimmery green that I could use as a topper. Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
I love this palette. This is the Norvina.
That like exactly middle color that's like,
This one?
yeah.
Yes. I should use that too.
I'm like, I'm excited just using everything blue I have.
Oh, here's a good one. So Chelsea actually works at an art gallery in Atlanta,
Ooh,
and I was
yeah.
wondering, how has COVID affected the art gallery business and your job like day to day?
So when we first, like all this crap was going down, we were hanging a new show. We have a new, like, we represent a handful of artists, and then every 6 weeks we pull from that pool artists that we represent, and they all get a show. So 6 weeks long, and this guy who hasn't had a show in a really long time had his show, and we just put it up, and we're like, oh my god, like this COVID thing, like, do you think they're gonna close the schools? Like, no, that sounds crazy, like it won't get like that, like blah blah blah. Like, not me, but like the old people I work with. But
I do remember that.
so then yeah, no one got to, we usually have an opening reception for when it first opens, and that got canceled.
That's a really important part of it.
That's
right?
a very important part of it, because like it's usually the artist that we represent who's having their show invites all their friends, clients that they've had before, like big supporters, so they can't, I mean, obviously if they're your real supporters, they'll buy and support for you no matter what.
It's just a good way to showcase.
Yeah, for
with
sure. It's a good like kickstart to the whole thing.
Right.
So instead of 6 weeks, he's been up just like this whole time, because we don't want to like, we want to give him a fair shot, you know? And so it's been hard with the city being like, oh, you know, sometimes closed down, sometimes not, like letting people know if we're open or allowed to be open by appointment, like.
Is that how y'all been doing it, by appointment?
We did it by appointment, and then we were just like, yeah, just come in, but it's really been like a lot less traffic for sure. Like, I would say most of my stuff is online, like emailing images and prices and stuff, but people who buy like really expensive art like that are like, oh, I need to see how it is in person.
Which makes sense.
Of course it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't blame them at all, but that is a big part of it, and it's definitely slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that looks amazing.
I know. Well, I mean,
Thank you. So I was gonna do like a full-on like monochromatic blue turquoise look, but like I'm definitely going tail, like mermaid tail.
I love that. You can also pull, if you see anything in here you want to use too. Oh, also that palette.
Ooh.
Some good stuff. Oh, look at this duochrome. It's like shifts blue. Yeah, if you want to use that, you're welcome to as well.
I'm right.
Really pretty.
What palette is that?
So it's within the Anastasia Beverly Hills brand, but they're
Really?
it's, the Norvina line. Norvina is actually the daughter of Anastasia.
Oh, yeah.
And she has her own line like within the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a lot of palettes out, I think.
Teach me.
Gosh, my makeup knowledge coming alive.
Kind of like in mid lighting, so I'm like, oh, Mandy. Yeah, this might be like we're
Yeah,
like
this might be better. I'm gonna have one day.
we're learning.
Yes, one day I'm gonna get like a actual
Like a hanging ass.
yeah, and film lights and all that. Oh, I love this. Look at that purple. Wow.
I can see it when you shift your head. Does she sell those in singles?
They haven't come out with singles in a while. They don't have like the newer palette launches singles yet, which I feel like.
Which I understand why. I'm gonna buy that palette for that color. It's not stupid, and I'm not stupid.
Oh my gosh, wait, I love those. I love those purple.
I like
purple
looked
eyeshadow.
up and I was like, oh wow. I mean, I haven't put makeup on like this in so long, so I might be looking kind of crazy when I might like look dramatic as.
This might be a mistake. I remember that meme I used to use, and it was like big miss steak.
Big Mrs. Yes, basically, like it's a woman.
Yeah,
It's a steak woman.
a steak and pearls.
I do remember that.
I love that. Didn't you have a shirt that said that?
Oh yeah, I was Big Mistake for Halloween. Should I use like electric blue or like, I was gonna say, or this Suva Hydra Fix.
No, you have to use that.
Okay, I'll use that.
I was wondering if you brought that. I actually got that for Chelsea for her birthday. I got it from Morphe. And
Of course I brought it. Look
oh, that's such a good color.
I'm using that.
And I think it's is it UV lights, like make it glow? I can't remember if it was one of those or not.
Something like that.
Or
But I
it's
have to
one
wet
of
it
them.
and then do this.
Yeah.
Somebody would do. This was a Morphe brush, by the way. You're very good at remembering that stuff. I don't know.
Most of my brushes are Morphe. They're just a good, like, because they're pretty cheap. Like, some of the brushes when they're on sale are like $2. And, which is cheaper than, like, most of you'll find in, I don't know, just like Ulta brand stuff. Not to, you know, call out Ulta.
I mean, called out.
Call out.
Yeah,
That was one of the dangerous things for me during quarantine.
Shopping?
Every single
yeah,
makeup
yeah.
company was having insane.
Your makeup looks really good from here.
Thank you. Keyword. Keyword.
We're like, you look
So does yours,
great.
though.
And then we like go up and we're like, oh.
We'll see. Another reason why I wanted to start YouTube though, because I wanted it to be like a passion project for me, like it'd be
Yeah, like why not have a purpose thing where you're like
something to get better at. And I wanted to learn how to edit, but even if it doesn't monetize one day, which that is definitely the goal though, I would love to get my YouTube monetized one day. At least in the meantime, it's still just as meaningful to me because I'm learning the skill by editing and just like learning my style and how I like to film videos and play with makeup. And
I really like the green in the corners. That's something I've never done before.
Bagel.
You're in the shot. Now this makes me wish we were going out somewhere.
It doesn't look that bad.
No. That's a good opener. You should get false lashes and put them on him.
I don't know if that would be cruelty free.
I like the corners.
It looks so good though. Those pinks and purples are so bright too.
Thank you. I like, this is my favorite one, the one that you also used.
The one that you picked out. Oh my gosh, well thank you so much for filming with me.
Of course.